Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. I'm Ashwini. I am the Director of Product Management here at PriceLabs. I have Pedro as well here, who's the Director of Data Science in PriceLabs. We also have Vidul and Aditya to help us with the questionnaire. Um, Starting with why we are here, if this is your first time attending a product update webinar from PriceLabs, we do it every month. This is for us to showcase what we've been doing in the last month, specifically for large property managers like yourselves. And we have a bunch of stuff to cover, so I'll just get deep into it. This entire session is recorded, so even in case you have to leave early or in case there is something that you want to refer back to, we'll be sharing this recording with you over an email, and you'll get the recording and you can refer it whenever you want, right? Starting with the agenda, there are around 6 items that we want to cover, and if time permits, we'll cover a few more of our future plans. But primarily, these are the things that we've done in the month of August, and we wanted to cover that. Uh, First one is we have made some changes to the notes that you can add at a listing level or at a group level. And there are some updates on how you can give access to your team, right? Then we have some new, very exciting updates on the neighborhood data tab, where you can see the snapshot of the market in the neighborhood data tab without going to the market dashboard section in case you don't use market dashboards. Then there is an improvement in market dashboard supply and demand charts. I will cover that. There are some as you might already know, we have been making a lot of changes in multi-calendar. And on the same lines, we have added base price history as well into multi-calendar. This was available at a listing level in the pricing calendar before, but we've added it in multi-calendar as well now. Then there is just to sort some confusion which happens in case you disable sync for a parent listing. There were a bunch of requests that we had received on that front. We have simplified the process to do that, and there is a specific small workflow that we've created to solve for that. We'll cover that. And then there are some new integrations that we've launched, and we can go through those as well. I'll keep switching between the presentation as well as a live account that I have, just to showcase which option lies where in the account. So please bear with me. A reminder on our trainings, we conduct regular trainings for multiple use cases. For example, we have a basic training session scheduled every day. We have an advanced session scheduled every week. And then we have specific sessions on market dashboards and portfolio analytics every month. Please feel free to scan this QR code. This will take you to the trainings page on our website. And probably Aditya will also share the link on the chat for you to refer back to. And these trainings are very interactive. We do it, and a lot of people attend this. This is always helpful for us as well as for new people joining in into PriceLabs to get a feel of what are the capabilities and what they can do with PriceLabs. Okay, jumping into the feature set that we've launched. There are two subsections here. We're calling it a collaboration module in some sense. What we've done is earlier, if you have been using Notes as a feature, Notes was available at a listing level. Now the Notes capability has been added to groups and account level. And just to give you a background of what Notes does, let's say if you're making a change on a customization at a listing level, you can write a note, probably to remind yourself why you made the change, or probably to just highlight what was the intended purpose of that change, so that whenever you go back to that customization, go back to that listing again, you can refer to the notes that you had written when you were making that change, right? So this is always better than you making this change offline in a separate product or in your notepad. It's always better to have these notes handy with you whenever you're accessing the same module again, right? So this was already available. This was launched way back. This was available at a listing level. We have incorporated this at a group and account level as well. So in case you are making use of the group and account customizations, you can add notes on both of these modules now. Another thing that we've launched is, let's say if you have multiple notes added to a listing or to a group or to an account, and you wanted to highlight one particular note amongst these, because, for example, a good use case of that could be, let's say, if there's a restriction that an owner has set on a particular customization, or on a particular listing that you want to see every time you visit that listing, you can just pin that note, and that pin note will be available to you by default when you access that listing. And similarly, we have a remind option. Let's say if you want to remind yourself that, okay, I've made this change to a customization today. I want to see the effects, judge the performance of this customization, let's say 2 weeks down the line. You can just set a reminder for yourself and set a date and a time when you want to be reminded, and we'll send you an email and we'll send you a notification whenever that time condition is met. I'll just jump to the live product just for you to see how it works. So the notes section was available here in the pricing calendar, as you can see. What we have done is, if you go to add notes, let's say if I want to add a new note, let's call it a new note. Now what you can do is you can pin it. So it'll appear on priority here, right? The new note gets appeared here as a pin note. What I can also do is, let's say I add a new note 2, and I can set a reminder, let's say for 2 weeks down the line, for me to be reminded about this particular change that I'm doing today. And the reminder is set. You save it. You'll get a tag here that you will be reminded about this note on 11th of September, 8:39 p.m. You'll be reminded over your email and also in this notification center that we had created for you. Right. As you can see here, there's a reminder already for another test case that we were running. Right. This was one change. Another thing that we have done is we have added notes to group and account level customizations as well. So while you could already add notes to listing level, now you can add it to group as well. So for example, if you see here, the group name is 555 here, you can see a note, you can add a note here as well. And the same remind and pin functionality gets replicated here as well. Right? So for example, if you change the settings, change the customizations, change the customization, let's say a weekly customization, and you want to check back, circle back again on a specific date, you can just set a date and we'll remind you on that. Right. This was all about notes. Another thing that we've done on the collaboration perspective is team access. Team access was a feature that was already available. There's no change as such in the feature, but what we've done is we've given access to team. This was earlier a request only feature, and what we have done now is added we've added this access for everyone with 100 listings and above. So in case your account has more than 100 listings, you will under settings, you will see an option for team settings here. With this, what you can just a reminder on how this can be used. Probably if you have a team of around, let's say, 4 people, and you want to give very specific access to these people, these access could be limited to a particular set of listings, or this could be also limited to view access that you want to give for a particular module of the product. So just as an example, if I go to add a new member, let's say I'll add my name here, add my email ID. So I'm now invited to this email. If I go and edit the permissions that I can change for this, I can give some specific listings, a subset of listings that you might want to manage. I can give access to group customization, or I can restrict access to group customization, and so on, right? So it's highly recommended in case there are more than one person managing a PriceLabs account. It's highly recommended that you use the team access. One, to give easy access, and also to, let's say, if you were to check certain logs, if you were to check what changes are being made to the product or to the customizations, you can actually see which team member has changed a particular customization, right? Yeah, so that was about the first feature that I wanted to talk about, which was notes and team access. As you can see here, it's available by default for 100 plus listings now. In case you want this to be enabled for your account and you don't have 100 listings, you can just write an email to support@pricelabs.co and we'll enable this feature for you. This feature is not available for public domains like Gmail or Yahoo. This is only available for your domain. So any email ID from the same domain, which was registered as the user when you created the account, can be given access as a team member. Right. Moving on, we've added an exciting new update to our neighborhood data. If you have used neighborhood data, and I'm pretty sure you must have used neighborhood data actively by now. Earlier, we used to have future prices, occupancy graphs, and then competitor calendars. Now there's a section that has been introduced, which will give you a very brief snapshot of the market that you're trying to benchmark your listing against. And I'll just jump into the product screen again, just for you to see how it looks. Right, so neighborhood data lies here in the single listing view. Now, below the future prices and the occupancy graphs, you now have the market history section, which gives you a very brief of how the market is performing in the last 1 year. The default selection of dates is last 1 year here. You can select last 2 years as well and check the performance of last 2 years. You can check market occupancy. You can check the median booking window. You can check the median length of stay, and you can check the average ADR of the market. The definition of the market here comes from the selection that you've done under this current selection tab. If by default, this will be the set of listings under neighborhood listings that PriceLabs defined for this particular listing. In case you want to change it, you can both change the bedroom count here. Let's say if you only want to benchmark against a three bedroom apartment, you can do that, and the data will get updated based on the selection. And in case you want to benchmark against, if you use market dashboard, if you want to benchmark against an existing market dashboard, you can do that as well. You can select a particular comp set, you can select a particular market dashboard, apply for other changes as other sections of the neighborhood data tab as well. And of course, this section will also show you the updated numbers based on the market data comp set. This is very relevant for people who are not using market dashboards in particular, because earlier, while you did have occupancy comparisons and price comparisons here, and also there were some price comparisons at a bedroom count level below as well. But in case you wanted to see absolute numbers for the market, there's no specific view which provided this unless you were using market dashboard. So anybody who's not using market dashboards, this is very relevant for them. Anybody who's using market dashboards already can still refer to this as a very fast, easy way to check market performance and benchmark against that. Right. So that was on the change that we had done for neighborhood data. Coming back to, since we're talking about market dashboards, there's a small change that we've done with market dashboards as well. There was there were these supply and demand charts that we used to show under market dashboard, under each market dashboard. Earlier, we used to show the average bookings made for listings for the demand and active listings for the supply. We haven't changed anything on the supply side, but we have given an additional view where you can also check the total number of book nights for a market at a monthly or a weekly level. I'll just go back to my screen again. Move it here. Yeah. So let's say this was the market dashboard that we wanted to study. You had the supply and demand graphs earlier, but these were hidden, not hidden, but these were not expanded by default. Now these are expanded by default. Plus, now you also have an option to change the view, either view these details by month or week, or if you preferred the earlier version where we were showing the average bookings per listing, you can go back to that version specifically for the demand graph here. Right? Another capability that we've added is downloading CSV. This wasn't available earlier. Now you can download all of this data in a CSV format, and in case you're doing any level of research or any level of research offline on Excels or on this data, you can continue doing that with this CSV as well. Right. So that was one change on the market dashboard side. Coming back to dynamic pricing, there is one small change that we've done with multi-calendar. As I mentioned, we've been doing a lot of changes with multi-calendar in the last 3 months. And I'm sure you might have noticed the entire speed of the product has improved a lot. We are also adding new capabilities. Last month, we added a capability of selecting multiple, having a box select to select DSOs for multiple listings for multiple dates at the same time. We had a lot of requests of accessing base price history from market dashboards, and we've added that as an option now. So if you go to multi-calendar, go to this context menu, the 3-dot menu here, and if you, for this particular listing, if I wanted to see what are the, when a base price was changed, I can see the entire history of the changes. While this is called base price history, we also show min price and max price changes as well, right? So this is another small change that we've done with multi-calendar. We have a large enough charter for multi-calendar for the next 2 months. So there will be a lot of new changes that you will see on this front, both on the speed side as well as on the capability side. So do, in case you have any thoughts there, do let us know. And we are anyways working very actively on this side. Right. Cool. Going back, another change that we had done on parent-child listings was earlier. Let's say if you have mapped certain listings together, one of them is parent. Let's say 2 or 3 of them are child listings, and you disable sync for the parent listing, then it used to create a lot of confusion on one, how will the child listing behave in terms of pricing, and second, in terms of the billing. Like currently we charge less for a child listing than a parent listing, and if you disable sync for the parent listing, what will be the billing like? So we have made this easier to understand and view through a workflow that we've created. I'll just show you that workflow. So assume that you have 3 listings just for this use case. One of them is the parent listing as highlighted here. There are 2 child listings that you see here. If you wanted to, for some reason, if you wanted to unsync, if you didn't want to sync prices for the parent listing, whenever you select the unsync button, you will see the options show up. The first option is probably you wanted to unmap all, probably you wanted to unsync all the listings together, right? So you can do that. The second option that you see here is that where if you unsync the parent listing, you're also effectively unsyncing the child listings, right? Let's say if you wanted to only disable a sync for the parent listing, but didn't want to disable a sync for child listings, then you can select the first option where you can unmap all child listings. So all of the child listings, let's say in this case, both these child listings will now become a parent listing, and they'll have their own dynamic pricings running in parallel. The difference here would be that your billing will get affected. In fact, your billing will increase because earlier these two listings were being charged as child listings. Now both of these will be charged as parent listings, right? Another option is, let's say if you just wanted to unsync the parent listing and you wanted to promote one of these child listing as a parent, you can do that as well in the third option. Here, there is another step to it where you will select which of these two listings do you want to promote as a parent, right? Once you do that, there are two other options. One is, of course, a lot of customizations, and of course, the base price, min price, and max price is can be borrowed from the parent listing, which was the earlier parent listing. You can choose to copy the new parent listings base price, min price, and max price to all of the other child listings. You can also if you wish, you can also copy the new parents listing level customizations as well as state specific overrides to the new child listings. Right? So this kind of helps you and helps us to understand what was your intention of unmapping a parent listing and how do you want to proceed with the child listings that were associated with the parent listing. Right. Yeah, that was one more change that we had done. Uh, Lastly, a lot of bunch of changes in the property management systems that we support. We have added 3 PMS Book, Click Booking, Hosted, Journey, RoomSoft, IDO Booking, and Freemium to the list. Uh, there might be some use cases of portfolio analytics that might not be available on all of these by default, but in the coming months, we'll enable those as well. So yeah, that's about it from the presentation point of view. I can go back to the overview, the agenda for this, so that just as a revision, we've made changes to notes. We've given notes access at a listing at a group and account level. We've added functionality to pin and remind notes. Then we've given access to team settings for all users with 100 plus listings. We've added a market history section in neighborhood data for you to check at a very broad level how is the market behaving. We've made some changes on market dashboard supply and demand charts. We've added base price history to multi-calendar, and we've simplified the process of unmapping a parent listing in case you're using parent-child mappings. And then, of course, there are a bunch of new integrations that we've added. Right. So that's all from the update section. Pedro, Mridul, Aditya, in case there are any questions, we can discuss those. I'll just go back to the Q&A section in case there are any questions.
Joanna just had one question about how to map listings, and I shared a link in chat. It's through the Manage Listings tab on your PriceLabs page. So that's where you can find the place to map listings. And on the post that I shared, there are some instructions as well.
Got it. So like you can, as Pedro mentioned, you can access Manage Listing tab from the center menu of dynamic pricing, and you can continue to you'll see all of your unmapped listing together, and you can continue to map these listings specifically. Are there any other questions?
Oh, I've got to maybe point out that, Joanna, I shared a link to how to map listings for multi-unit setup, but there are two reasons to map listings together. It's either you have a multi-unit, right? So you have multiple units that kind of work as one, right? Kind of a hotel setup or an apartment building type setup. And the other option is mapping listings in different channels. So you might have imported the listing through a PMS, but you're also connecting directly through to Airbnb through your PriceLabs account, for example. And you might want to map them together, or you're connecting to Airbnb and VRBO within PriceLabs, and you want to map those two together, right? So same scenario where you have same listing but different channels, and so that's another type of mapping that we allow, which is mapping listings across different channels. So the way on how to do these is very similar. But if you want to do multi-unit mapping, you need to contact us to enable multi-unit mapping on your account. Yeah.
Cool. Since we didn't have a lot to cover today, I can take another 5 minutes to highlight a new feature that we've been working on for some time now, and get your thoughts on it. This is very specific to large users like yourself, so I think this will be interesting for us to see. So we've added. This is currently in the beta mode. We've added a new feature called Report Builder under Portfolio Analytics. What this does is we had noticed why we added this feature was we had noticed that a lot of our users were downloading reports from PriceLabs and were using these reports to then do more operations offline on Excels or on any other BI tools. And we thought, why not have the capability of making these reports, customizing these reports within PriceLabs itself, right? So I'll just give you a very brief demo, and in case you are interested in beta access of this product, just let us know in chat, and we'll enable this for you. Now, with this product, what you can do is you can create your own report with all of the data that exists within PriceLabs. So let's assume that I have multiple groups, and I want to see occupancy for forward-looking occupancy for the next quarter for all my groups and compare it against the market. Let's say that's my use case of creating a report. The first selection here is at which level do you want to see this report? Let's say in this case, I want to see a report at a group level. So I'll click on create. I'll see all the groups that I have appear here. Then I will say I want to compare occupancy versus occupancy last year. This is my occupancy for this year, for this fifth time frame and same time frame last year. And then I want to compare this against market occupancy and market occupancy same time last year, right? So this is how the report will look like. This is a test account, so you won't see the exact numbers here. I also mentioned that we wanted to see this for the next quarter. So let's say I'll just go and I'll select next quarter here. So between October and December, what I'll see here is these are my 5 groups. This is my current occupancy. This was my last year occupancy for the same time. And this is how the market is currently performing, right? So this helps me understand how am I doing in terms of my performance last year in terms of occupancy, and how am I doing as with respect to the market this year or the market last year. This is just a very basic example. There are around 50 plus metrics that you can select. You can compare RevPAR, you can compare ADR, you can compare revenue between dates. There is a section for pickup data. You can check how your revenue is pacing, how your occupancy is pacing in the last few days and few months. Yeah, so this is an exciting thing that we've created. We are adding more features to it. We will be launching this by first week of September, this will be available for everyone to be used. There are some restrictions on free usage, and we are launching this as a free product for now. There are some restrictions with that, and then based on the requirements and based on your suggestions, we'll think of adding more features which might be paid as well. Right. Another interesting thing is, let's say if you created this report, you like this report, and you want to check this report every first of each month, what you can do is you can save this as a template. And let's say if I name it as a test template here, and I save it in the home screen. If I go back to the home screen here, you will see the test template here. And now what you'll not be required to come back and create this report again. You can just go ahead and click on this download button here, and the data in the same format as we had specified in this template would be downloaded for you with the fresh data as on the date of download, right? So pretty exciting thing. We still are waiting for more reviews and suggestions from the beta users, and let us know if you want to be added to the list. And this will anyways get launched very soon.
Ashwani, just to address one question. So Mohammed had a question about can this tool be used to analyze performance across different booking channels for his market? And the answer right now is no, right? We do get that. So this is not what Mohammed's talking about, like, hey, essentially, like when you get a reservation, right, it can come through Airbnb, it can come direct, right, it can come from booking.com. And so how to like analyze which channel is performing better or worse, depending on the listing. And so we get some of this data on the reservation for some of our PMSs that we connect to, but we haven't done it for all PMSs yet. But and so on this rollout of the report builder, we're not going to release this capability yet, but it's definitely something on our radar, so on some next version of the report builder, this will be included, and yeah, we'll announce that.
Exactly. Cool. Any other questions, Pedro?
No other questions. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you everyone for joining. I think in case there are no other questions, we'll leave it at this. Yes, you can access Kai report builder. Probably Mridul, if you can note down if you can just share the user ID here, and we'll give you the access to report builder, or you can just write down a mail to support at PriceLabs, and someone will enable beta access for you. Cool. There's one question from Mohammed. For example, right now I'm in discussion whether it makes sense to be on Verbo or not. Yeah, I think this is an extension to what Petro was discussing. We are getting channel information in the product. This is something that is in progress, and once we get it done for all the PMSs, you'll see somewhere in the product as well, plus also in Report Builder as a metric as well. Cool. I think that's about it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. And in case there was something missed in this session, or in case you have more doubts, you can always write to us at support@pricelabs.co, and we'll be happy to assist you.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.